Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles, the new Batman Adventures, Etrigan, and Klarion. This deluxe box set features not only the two characters, but their display stands, the cat, and so much more. Bob picked this up from his local comic book store. On the side of the box, we've got the new Batman Adventures, Etrigan and Klarion, number 26. And then on the back, nothing. No read-up, no nothing, no additional characters coming out in the wave. However, you can go to www.dccomics.com. Check out what's going on over there. You can also head over to www.comicsshoplocator.com if you'd like to find a comic book store in your area. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're getting a better look at the new Batman Adventures, Etrigan and Klarion. There's more heading your way. Don't go anywhere. Of course, just before we have a look at the two characters, the folks over at DC Collectibles include a pamphlet with upcoming releases. Some of the older releases we've already had a look at is the Batmobile, Batman and Phantasm, but there's also the Commissioner Gordon, which we haven't had a look at yet on this channel, Ra's al Ghul, Zatanna, both which we have looked at, and then Harley Quinn, a new Harley Quinn, the Firefly, anti-fire suit Batman, and the much interested in picking up the Clayface here. So still lots more coming our way from the folks over at DC Collectibles. I want to say Diamond Select. Let's first start having a look at the figures by first looking at their display stands. We have Klarion the Witch Boy, his turnaround, and it's not even so much a turnaround, it's the same 3/4 front turn, and just one side is shaded, the other side is outlined. It has the smaller neck of the two figures. Etrigan has a much taller stand. But there's Clarion's stand. I guess while we're at it, let's look at Etrigan the Demon's turnaround. Once again, it's just a front 3/4 turn front face of the character. There's no turns or anything like that. But you've got the new Batman Adventures on the other side there as well. Both necks, there goes Etrigan, both necks do adjust up and down. These ones here on Etrigan's, this also does come forward, and you have the adjustable clip here for the waist. I was going to say he actually doesn't need it, and quickly as I'm thinking that, he falls over. So there are the two figure stands. We can actually just put those to the side. Why don't we actually start looking first at Klarion, then we'll look at Etrigan. Klarion, accessory-wise, comes with a cat. His cat. I love the look of the cat's expression. It's painted nicely, and it actually even has articulation. Ball joint heads, ball joint single head, he only has one head, and individually posable arms. I say arms, it's his legs. Legs on the back there as well. The tail also does have its own ball joint. The merit of its longevity on a smaller joint like this, I don't know over the course of time how long it's going to last, but I appreciate that they would have included that much in a cat as opposed to just having it staction. Other companies can take note on that. Etrigan also comes, or Klarion also comes with, and I don't know where I put it. Where did I actually put it? He also comes with his branding iron. Hold on one second. Yes, sometimes Spot would lose his head if it wasn't attached to his neck. He also does come with the branding iron as well, which currently can't fit into his hand until you swap out his hands for one of the 4 that they include as well. As it stands, he's currently just close-fisted, but what you can do is just wiggle his hand out, a very, very small joint, replace it with the corresponding hand that you want to use, and then you can clip the branding iron into his hand. He's got a very, very small grip though. Just want to show you how small that grip is and how large the handle is of the branding iron. But he does hold it, just not the greatest, but he does hold it if need be. We'll just put that to the side. By the way, the other hands that he comes included with are 2 open hands and another partially closed or holding hand as well. There is Klarion. Okay, so let's look at the figure itself. The figure itself actually is good. Very faithful to the cartoon, which I find more and more the DC Collectibles Batman figures seem to be catering themselves closer to being cartoon accurate characters rather than toy accurate characters. And again, I always go back to Joker being the one that's the questionable. He's not really quite show accurate, but he's more accurate to the original Kenner released figure. But the face sculpt on Klarion, I think, is quite good. He's got the curled up horn-like hairstyle. He kind of actually looks like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, just smaller. I don't know who would be more offended by that, Klarion or Jim Carrey. But he's got a very, I don't want to say pagan, but a very old world kind of outfit on him, consisting of a very long black jacket, white cuffs on the arms when you get the hands all the way in, cuffed on this, or collared on the jacket there, and then he's got the I guess the boots that have the little buckles on there. There's the underside of his feet. No peg holes or anything like that, because of course you're going to be making use of the display stand. But he seems to stand okay. He doesn't have any of the issues that I had with smaller figures or the figures that had really small feet. Surprisingly, because he's got blocky enough feet, he seems to stand pretty good. But because his legs are so close together, you don't always get it the first go around. You kind of have to play around with it a bit to get him to properly stand. Articulation on Klarion, his head is on a ball joint. Hinged shoulders, but that's about as far out as you're going to really get the arms. They do sure move forward and back, but very limited moving the arms outward. He does have a bend in the elbow, allowing that forearm to rotate, and he does also have a rotation in the wrist for good measure. The legs do go forward and back, and what I thought was only going to be a swivel, they actually do split out as well. A hinge on the knee, and a rotation on the individual shoes. And there is Klarion. Is it Morgan Le Fay? I'd love to get Morgan Le Fay released as a figure. Let's go then to the bigger guy of this release. We've got ourselves Etrigan. Now, Etrigan actually is a much bigger figure. I don't know from the standpoint of molds what they could use this mold for future releases. Perhaps, maybe a Doomsday if they, torso-wise, because the torso is very neutral other than the fact that he's got the cape on. If they wanted to save costs, which, surprisingly, of all the companies out there that try to make the most out of their molds, DC Collectibles seems like one of the few companies that seem all that concerned with molds. They just keep churning out more and more. There goes Klarion. More and more different figures that have their own very unique molds to them. It's really a credit to the company that they continue to so passionately support their line by not trying to work around a mold, but just giving us something brand new. Klarion looks like he's been taken, Klarion Etrigan looks like he's been taken right out of the cartoon. That to be said also for Klarion over here. The coloring is vibrant, but not overly vibrant. The yellows are more a mustard yellow than a bright yellow. And he's got a good face sculpt on him. Very, very accurate to how he appears in the show. As you could probably expect it, the cape is more of a rubbery material rather than plastic, so it's got a good bit of give to it. And he's got the tattered bottom portion of the cape, as he did in the cartoon. He doesn't come with any sort of accessories other than just 4 extra hands, 2 pairs of hands in total. Once again, closed fists, but he does have a series of slightly holding hands, ones of which that you can have him holding the iron, the branding stick. He also has a couple of open hands, and he also has another holding hand. Again, all of which you can also support and have him holding when hopefully he doesn't topple over on me. Stay still there for a second, guy. There we go. No. You know what? We keep talking about it. Let's make use of this display stand. Bring the cape forward, bring the cape around. Slide the legs through, and we're just going to bring this up. No sense in fussing and mussing over this. We'll just get him to stand on the display stand as we talk about the rest of the figure. So again, you can make use of the branding stick. You can have him holding that as well. It's a more of a looser fit, granted, but he does still hold it. Changing out the hands, as easy as Klarion. Just once again, wiggle the hand right out, replace it with the hand that you want to use, and you're good to go. And we'll just put that to the side. I guess the only thing I'm worried about with these particular figures, having seen what longevity has taken its toll on the likes of my Creeper. My Creeper has really loose legs right now, and I don't know if that's consistent with a lot of collectors out there. I think the one victim over long term is possibly going to be the ankles here, because Etrigan, as just by virtue of how his proportions are, he's so big up top, so small below, that I feel ultimately the one thing that's going to be sacrificed in this is the looseness of ankles developing. Speaking of posability, though, Etrigan's head is on a ball joint. Good range of motion there. He has a hinge out on the shoulders, forward and back motion on the arms, a bend at the elbow there, a rotation on the forearm there, and a rotation and hinge on the hand. He has the upper torso crunch, which also allows him to have a ball joint, so he's got a ball joint and a crunch. So I might actually display him more hunched over than a straight up. Finally, his legs go forward and back. He has that split cut there, allowing the legs to move out. He has a bend at the knee. Doesn't allow, I might add, to rotate the lower leg, but that's adequately enough because he's still got the hinge in the foot, so you can get some extra posing there. I like these figures a lot. I don't know, truthfully, if I'm as thrilled with this set for the Klarion as I am for the Etrigan. I think Etrigan, for me personally, is the reason to pick up this set, but I'm glad that they at least incorporated, hopefully get in the stand, I'm glad they at least incorporated a smaller figure, a figure that you may not have bought on its own, incorporating someone like this with Etrigan. A smart move by DC Collectibles, even though really for me the reasoning to get this set is this guy right here. Today's Toy Spot, we were looking at the DC Collectibles. This was the new Batman Adventures. We were looking at Klarion the Witch Boy and Etrigan the Demon. Stay tuned. Spot's got more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.